survive what Mineski throws at him. We'll see. This one's for all the marbles. Winner will move on.
Good, good. Losers down to the lower bracket and winners progress up against the good teams. And this is how double elimination works, drag and drop, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
just making sure that everyone's on the same page. You know?
So carry venge from
always
Mushi.
This one guy. Yeah, it's like, oh, is this a live replay or is this happening now?
Is it real? Is life real?
Is it real?
So,
is this a single elimination best of one tournament?
Yes, of course. It definitely is, in Captain's Draft. So Ice gets pooled tangos, has an Orb of Venom and a Mango. Very, very aggressive laning build here from the Tide Hunter. As Moon starts regular jabs, no boots, has the Windlace and a ton of extra little things, dust and smoke to catch the Ricky off guard. As they're swapping lanes. Mushi's heading towards bottom, and Tide's going top. So it looks like they want the 1v1 Tide against the Magnus, and then try and get their, tri-lane versus tri-lane going on.
I think Tim's might be scouting that out here right now if he goes up to the high ground. And, of course, with the TP scroll available, you can always adjust to that immediately. For now, so don't tell me they're not gonna get their own boundary room here. Tim's is looking to try and sneak it away from Moon, and will not be able to. Moon, Mushi, Cuckoo on the other side. He's doing the thing that you were talking about yesterday. Just get both bounties, and either walk towards mid or just TP there.
Yeah, he only gets one bounty, and he TPs straight to the tier 2 to get his block going. And this way, the other 3 heroes can play aggressively. They're doing it again. The quad lane mid, the ganks into mid. Sam H. Magnus is here, lurking around behind Cuckoo.
Oh yeah. Gonna try and make his presence known. I think he tanks. Yeah, he tanks the concussive shot actually, but stun coming through from Mushi on the side, followed from jabs. Sunful still spilling the first blood here. So 4 heroes are better against than 1 hero. Who would have known? Hashtag expert analysis. The only way
First blood better than no blood.
Spectre or something. Yeah.
And then they swing top, get this Venge versus Jug matchup, outrange the Dazzle and the Juggernaut here with the Sand King Skarath as well. And then they've got Ice against Sam H bottom lane. Are they trying to swap again? They are. Get the hell out of here, guys. But they've still got TPs. Because of this movement from bot to mid, walking, and then walking from mid to top, these dire heroes still have TPs to use and swing back down towards bottom lane.
Now, though it's quad lane here, Tim's also wrapping around. On level 1, not a whole lot he can actually provide. Doesn't even have an Orb of Venom for slows. So Ice will be absolutely fine, and bit of time wasted. No on tower. Obviously, creep wave is under the tower anyway, so not a whole lot to be gained from that just yet either. All in all, decent start for Mineski. Not losing the couriers either because it's not vulnerable to the Wiki. What are the right lanes here for Cuckoo? Or for TNC in general?
Basically you dodge the Venge lane with your Juggernaut as often as you possibly can. Everything else is like reasonably okay. And Juggernaut gets a lot of CS in this lane now. Like, yep. They should be able to deal with Tide. They just don't want to be run at, basically. Because if Dazzle gets run at, he needs to skill, Grave to save himself. Things start getting messy. And he's probably just going to die anyway with, like a Burrow Strike, Magic Missile, and a few little hits from Skywrath. You're never surviving through it. So, put pressure elsewhere. Nice sentry mid from the dire spots Tim, so they know the Ricky is lurking around in mid. And that opens things up for Ice to pressure bot lane a little bit harder and walk into the Dazzle. But yeah, I think for TNC it's just all about waiting it out. Don't get caught, feeding away unnecessary kills. Don't die. Don't feed courier. Don't dive. Don't go for flashy plays, just play solid, standard, farm your Juggernaut, get Empower, get Blink on your Magnus, and then is when you decide to, you know, actually play Dota 2. Everything else is foreplay basically for TNC. It's just like waiting and waiting and waiting. All these
weather the storm per se from the tanking. I mean, Jabs once again just wrapping around mid. Cuckoo inside the river. He sees him coming now. That is Burst Strike. 2-2 on Moon. And that's the burst that they need. Quick pause coming out.
Interesting.
Maybe some issues.
I wonder if it's a TeamSpeak issue, because usually there the Storm would be calling for a TP mid from the Dazzle, and 1437 has one. So it's interesting that there was no TP, and, you know, if you kind of follow the logic back, there was no call for a TP, right? Or 1437 wasn't watching or needed a you know, verbal cue. But if Storm's on TeamSpeak or has dropped or, you know, has lags or something like that, Jabs and Moon just pair up and kill him.
Really not sure if 1437 could have even done anything. He's level 2, doesn't have the Grave. And that kill was actually pretty quick in the end. Like, by the time they noticed it, it was like Burst Strike into extra nukes. Wouldn't have even completed the TP, but that's could still be an indication of, hey, let's just fix the TeamSpeak regardless. And ready to go again. I'm just gonna have to take that on the chin, and that's something that'll help Mineski out tremendously here, this mid matchup. If they decide that into their favor, then it's gonna be the Tinker who's gonna be searching forward rather than the Storm, who's like a very similar hero in this momentum-based economy, essentially. Not making sense, but I hope you still know what I mean.
More ice.
Yeah. Farm up some stacks in jungle.
Jabs uses Burrow Strike to get the bounty rune as well. But yeah, things are gonna get harder for TNC before they get any easier. The way that this Mineski lineup starts to run at you, with Tinker TPing around and regenning up, there's a lot of fast-paced, very sort of high-tempo heroes here between Sand King, Skywrath, and Venge.
Go again, stun and mid onto the Wiki, easy burst down. And 1437, gonna get the poison touch out, and try to keep it up onto Moon, but hey, there's only so much that it does here at this point. Raven's still farming though, and it's a saving grace. Tim's making his way back bottom just to, I guess, soak more experience. And maybe body block a little bit onto Ice of Ice, slowing him down a tiny amount. And they're gonna get another kill, alright. Didn't think they would be able to do that, but apparently it's one up in the spin and the Blade Fury is enough if we can get a decent duration off on that. So this Titan's actually being punished more than expected he would be. 2 deaths in quick succession. Magnus by comparison is a much easier time, even getting quite a few last hits here. 16-3. And we're gonna go again here. Gareth, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, I got a bit worried there. You not saying anything for a while.
No, I was checking back. I was so sure that Dazzle had held skill points for a potential Grave, but I don't know.
He was level 2 by the time of the boss. Just barely.
Ice. I'm struggling a touch in this bot lane, but he's keeping the attention of Tim's pretty heavily set on this Tidehunter, and you know, you've already said there's Ancients being stacked up for the Tide. Wants to fall back on them in a little bit. But this just opens up Moon's game so heavily. Cuckoo is now jungling because he doesn't feel safe mid. Top and mid are both pretty heavily won by Mineski here. But, you know, Juggernaut continues to farm, continues to get kills, and this is a pretty high-octane hero with Omnislash coming up in about half a level's time. Raven could suddenly start TPing around and causing all kinds of chaos.
Mushi up top to wants to get the skill here. Swaps damage back into the sounds. Jab's also wrapping around. 1 stun, 2 stun, everybody's stun. And they get the kill, so keep seeing these These small kills, no retribution, no nothing, just very straightforward. Alright, we're gonna chain our builds together. And we're gonna make this happen, no problem.
The glyph creeps are still so weird to me.
Yeah.
Ice might die bottom.
Raven with another spin, but TP's coming through and it's from both sides. The Ninja Boogie with the slow on to the Riki. Doesn't have detection film though, so it'll be fine. They make the immediate call. Alright, TP reactions, let's get the hell out of here. Let's not risk it.
Yeah, this is where the rotations come in. Finally, Ice is like, team, help me this time. They're under my tier 1. You have to TP, come back and help me. It does bring the Sand King and the Scarth down, but we're gonna have to regen up at the shrine and go and make a play soon anyway. Sam H is still getting wrapped around on at top lane.
Gets the skew off, down, slow ground, into loving arms of Moon. Okay. RP onto the high ground. So walk down the river, still being slowed down for a moment. Jabs, stays in range for another burst strike. Yeah. Unless he gets some serious help. Yeah, never mind. Serious help from Cuckoo at this point. At least he's level 6, so he'll keep himself safe. He's still far from the point where he can actually do a sizable amount of damage to thwart these kind of attempts. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's not happy that I'm not happy about in chat. That was super nice when Sandstorm's on. Like, but yeah, I'll not get into that. Moon continuing to farm in mid. Arcans 1437 is just trying to suck some experience. It's almost level 6, so it's not the worst pace for the Dazzle, but cannot get too close, so he's just gonna get rocketed down. Down bottom, Raven does have the Omni Slash available now for potential kill if Mineski extends towards him. Super fine farming on his own. Cuckoo continuing to jungle it up. And kind of getting the last sits. He's still 1,000 gold away from the Tinker. But
recovery
he's
mode.
Getting more than he... Yeah, exactly. He's in recovery mode. And for what it is, he's actually doing a good job. Because he's not being pressured at all, really.
No one to come and hunt him. Dire wards are all around this kind of mid to top area though, so you can see the kind of emphasis that Mineski are putting on that top tier 1, mid tier 1, keeping Moon alive and safe from any kind of Riki rotations as well as... we've seen Ice just tank a bunch of ganks bottom, and he's still got Ancients to clear. I think Ninja Boogie likely to stack that once more. As Tim's found top, he tries a little bit of an excursion top lane. Didn't like bot lane anymore, but they're bringing more in here to fight top with a smoke from Raven. Interesting.
This could catch them off guard because you do have this ward. Kind of gives you a false sense of security. And MH can skew in for an RP, and that's exactly what it does. Follow up is there, a couple of right clicks, Omni Slash, and sure to kill onto Mushi. Swiftly executed for now, perhaps a bit of a turnaround. There's jabs coming in from the side. They're messing with Cuckoo. A new reality show.
There's that Juggernaut. Nice TP rotation. Uses the Omni Slash, they kill the Venge, and all of a sudden this top lane belongs to them. Moon has managed to come up here with a level 3 and being spammed out pretty nicely, but bottom lane.
Ooh, that is quick kill again on the Riki. If he gets caught out, it's just such an easy kill. Almost free farm, just adding on top of Moon's net worth. 5k. Towards Blink Dagger next. Sam H gets swapped out of the skewer, and yeah. Getting it to Mushi. Moon could have easily zapped him down there himself, but they're prioritizing the Venge and that particular kill. Meanwhile, there we go. They finally find Stormspirit in the jungle.
And the two supports are the ones to get the kill as well. You know, the Sand King Skyrath with the Burst Strike into Mystic Flare is such a potent combination. And it's just all buying space. You know, Moon has a much faster boot to travel this game. Ice isn't looking too bad after his 2 deaths. He hasn't fallen again since then. So he's, you know, farming reasonably well into his arcanes. He's got himself a cloak, so maybe a hood to come out after the arcanes for him. And Mask Banner's Mushi Venge, the classic. Going to start scaling reasonably well on her as well. The only thing we're missing is Jab's Blink, and he's, well, 800 gold away from that. A kill and a couple of, you know, pushes into tier 1 towers is going to be great for them.
Think about going for Raven there, perhaps, but it was not going to work with a spin available. And meanwhile, Moon just... Look at this, he TP's mid, Cuckoo from max health to like a third. That's how strong he is right now. Just not just in terms of gold, but also levels. 3-3-3 build, not what you usually see, but it's kind of paying off right now. Just keeping Cuckoo guessing and keeping him playing very defensively here. That's the arcane boots at the very least. So a little bit more mana pool to work with.
To farm with, yeah.
Yeah, to farm with, I guess. But when's the point where you can actually feel comfortable joining in and trying to do some damage?
As the Storm Spirit?
Yeah. It has to be some sort of Magnus setup, but he's far enough away from Blink Dagger as well.
Right, Magnus is miles away from Blink, so he's going to be on the like counter initiation play, TPing to towers to try and skewer or RP if Mineski dive in too far. But honestly, it has to be when, I think it has to be when Cuckoo or Storm feels strong enough. He's level 10 and he's got 1100 HP. He doesn't look too bad, but oh, Sam H.
Skewer out, no shrine available from the 45 seconds. This is gonna have to hook it out there, use the RP just to survive. That's a Feels Batman right there. Itself will not be cancelled though, and he is making it over to the middle lane, but the rest of his team awaits. It's rather low commitment. That is jump in actually. Oh, inside the march. Tim's falls. Cuckoo is out of everything. The Ravage in the backlines. We'll see SMH finally drop. And now, Sons of the Salt Pit looking for more here. Shell Grave comes out with the Dazzle's dying breath. Cuckoo will be fine. But at what cost, Gareth? At what cost?
Well, Ice and Moshi pushing in from the southeast force the RP defensively, and they still manage to chase in. At the same time, Storm zips while the Magnus is wasting RP, and while that chase is going on, Storm zips in onto the Tinker, the Ricky, and they look to bring down Moon, but Moon has 1200 HP. Those two heroes just cannot physically kill him. So then you have this awful situation where TNC are losing two separate fights within the same area, and okay, the Storm survives, and okay, the Juggernaut was farming top lane, but it's still a win for Mineski as they can fall back, reset their lanes, keep on farming, and not really worry about too much. You know, this Blink Dagger on Sand King is 200 away, and they have the Blink on Tinker.
Running into each other, this Burst Strike on 2, Mystic Flare to immediately get rid of the Dazzle. Boogie though, tanking the Omnislash bounces over to the Ancients, but it's not enough to keep him safe. 1-1 trade so far, good enough for TNC, especially if he can get jabs. Skew up forward, but the Burst Strike off to the low ground, Zip to follow. Cuckoo now out of mana to convert this into anything though. No Soul Ring, no Stake Charges. Looks like jabs. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he gets away. Sick Burrow Strike, that timing. Gets through the three heroes of TNC, allows the Tinker to escape. They only give up their Skywrath, and that was with an Omnislash used, bouncing on Ancients and barely killing Ninja Boogie. So another great little skirmish there for Mineski as Tims tries again on the Sand King, but jabs with the Blink Dagger available now. No mana really to go in. Does still have to return back to base, unfortunately. But TNC, it feels like, you know, they're pushing back against this Mineski lineup. They're still fighting. 3-13 looks very bad, and the 7k net worth lead at 15 minutes definitely does tell that story. But you've got to think about how Secret were playing at the Hamburg Major, right? How Secret have played these Magnus lineups, where they have this Magnus, they have someone to pump and power into, and lanes don't go well, mid-game doesn't go well, but one RP hits and they win a fight. A second RP hits 2 minutes later, they win a fight, and all of a sudden, the big swing happens.
Gonna be down to Mineski to just allow that to happen though, because they have a good variety of heroes. Most of them have like very range damage. Like you can space yourself out to a point where it should technically be very hard for TNC to actually find that. For now, look at this. Mushi's wrapping around. They use the Ravage, they use everything. Just want to get rid of the pesky Storms, but keeping him down. Not even 5k network. 60 minutes in, so that is not his game at all. They also have a catapult with them. They will be able to claim a tier 2. Tims keeps an eye on Ninja Boogie. We have a sentry here. That's a rating sentry, I believe. Yeah, damage is being done all around. And TNC can't trade because Tinker is already on the other side of the map, just spamming down the waves.
You can't maneuver yourself into a tier 1 at all. There's just layers and layers of march being laid down. Oh, this smoke. They might walk into Tims. They do, but the dust doesn't hit.
Breaks immediately, so at least that's spotted out. Something going well for TNC. Should be able to dodge this movement out, but Mineski. Well, they also have a Shadow Blade and Vengeful Spirit. That might catch TNC off guard here. If you're thinking about Tim's, I thought they saw him, but he just walks into the random anchor smash. Sam H though, okay, gets the skew off under the tier 2. Japs already used the burst strike, thinking about the RP, but instead they're just gonna use the Omni Slash, holding on to the big crowd control spell. Raven thinking, can we get more here? Maybe not. Tim's jumping in. There's a TP through, but the smoke screen already used. Zip in from Cuckoo. That is bit of extra control. They need to stay close to Ninja Boogie, and they do. With the spin, the secondary kill for Raven. And now body blocks onto Titan. So no Ravage, but a Mac. He's still very, very tanky, but not tanky enough against all of this stored up rage. TNC, let it go. They get a couple really good kills under the belt. So 1.5k gold swinger, so 2k experience for everyone.
Yeah, Mineski kind of went in there aggressively, then they spread to the wind, leaving a couple of people behind. At first it looked okay, you lose a support, then you lose another support. Oh, Storm Spirit, see ya, buddy. Walks into the rune spot, gets the bounty bottled, but immediately blown up. But yeah, Mineski played that pretty sloppily, you know, walking in as 5, then walking out as like 1 and 1 and 2 and 1. Getting picked off little by little there. Not really how they planned that whole engagement, but getting a Storm Spirit kill to follow feels pretty damn nice, and they're going to be relentless with this. They're not going to stop. Moon's going to return back to Fountain. They'll continue pushing down, you know, top and mid, keep bot lane shoved in towards tier 2, just make it as tier 3, sorry, make it as difficult as they possibly can for TNC to find an opening.
Do they have any reason to stop? They have Ravage back, they have a Mac on Titan who's working away at that pipe as well. And at that point, it's very little that TNC actually have to even fight into them, to even damage them.
Especially when you have no blink on Mag. This Helm of the Dominator is like cool, but Blink Dagger is what you need.
Maybe just one of these moments where they say, alright, I need to have some item now. But might not be the one that they need. Get Aegis on Furushi. This is where the Vengeful Spirit core really shines, right? You get the levels, you get the items. 20 minutes in, swap back, you get so much mileage out of your spells and out of your skill set. SMH will fall.
Yeah. Centaur not saving him. If he had a blink there, potentially he survives, but now they're going to kill the little Centaur as well. One hit, down it goes.
125 gold, easy money. Tier 2 should fall.
This is the relentless push from Mineski. It will not stop until TNC's throne is dead. And you got Tinker pushing top. Like, you can't even look. Jugger tries to get on this tier 1 and just immediately march and rocket spam, tries to cut the wave. But tier 3s are being knocked on, mid and bot soon. They have to do something about this.
Ushi gets woven up. Still tier 2 top. Drawing the line. Hey, let's get rid of that. Have a catapult in this wave. Raven has been TPing. Get rid of as much of that wave as they can, but right now, I mean, they're just setting up in the jungle. No fear whatsoever. Vengeful Spirit, 600 gold away or so from Manta style. Pipe has been delivered, so it's more defensive utility. Tim's almost dies to the marches. Ugh.
Why is the sun shining, Dragon Drop? Why is it morning time?
Sun shining? Don't lie to me, dude.
It's shifting in through the window. It was fine at 5 AM, it was dark, but now the glare is starting to be very apparent.
I have my blinds down all day anyway, so...
Okay, fair enough. Well, empowered catapult pushing bot lane. Moon just comes down, lasers it, but it's still alive. But Tinker has Aghanim Scepter now. Things become highly improbable that TNC win a team fight here, especially with no blink on Magnus.
Almost got to skewer in, but even that is very limited range. You see it coming. It's very easy to counterplay. So, yeah. They can just keep taking away. The catapults just blinking.
There's a glyph on their creeps.
The glyph on the creeps, yes. Still think you... Oh, there it is. Swap in. Easy kill. Dazzle down for 45 seconds. No buyback. Moon continues to spam whatever he wants to. The kid is dead. I'd love to hype this up, but it's just really a result of the way this draft works and the way the early game went. Very hard for TNC to fight into this. That is the Ravage as Semage skewers in. He buys back immediately, still has an HP to work with. Almost the only casualty of that. Cuckoo not coming through. Alright, that considers something. But the Omni Slash bouncing to the frames. Epicenter to turn things around. The RP on 2, but there's no follow-up. Moon in the back. Mushi in the front. They're all just hammering away at TNC. And I would not be too surprised if we see a GG fall in a little bit. Stalford does respond very quickly though with the Bloodstone.
Oh, you need Blink Dagger on Magnus, my dude.
I know. Oh god. Cuckoo. That is GG. Well played indeed. Mineski claimed game number 3 in a bit of a stumpy fashion, let's be real here.
Game 3 ends very, very quickly. Moon on the Tinker again, Mushi on the classic Mask of Manus Vengeful Spirit. But, you know, I was talking about how Secret wins these kind of matchups where they go behind in laning phase, they have a Magnus and a hero that